I'm 57 and broke. Those are the words of a woman who has gone viral on YouTube after sharing her story about how she left her corporate job that was paying good money. She had a retirement, she had a pension, and she decided to leave that job, move to Atlanta, and pursue her dreams as an actress. And when everything fell through in Atlanta, she found herself dipping into her retirement until that money ran out. This woman shared in her story that God told her not to do it and she did it anyway. She went against her better judgment, threw caution to the wind, and chased a dream. And you can chase your dreams, but don't throw everything away while doing so. Do both. Do both, but always, always have a safety net. Don't wind up old and broke. And please use this as a cautionary tale because I personally know a lot of 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, almost 80-year-olds that are broke. Because every decision you make along the way is setting you up for what's going to happen when you're 57 and beyond. So many people are just one bad decision away from being in the exact same situation. All right, love you. Bye.
Life in America right now is not how it used to be. We were sold the dream on retirement. We would be able to get pretty much any job after college, work for maybe 30, 40 years, and then we would have a comfortable retirement. That is no longer the case. People right now who are 60 plus do not have enough saved for retirement. The cost of everything has been crazy this past decade, and now people just don't have enough saved. They're underestimating how high costs of living can get in America. And we're seeing people 70, 80 years old working at Home Depot and retail stores. It's very sad to see. But we're definitely sold this idea that anyone can retire in America after working a certain amount of time. But people are not saving money, people can't save money, and a lot of people are just getting further and further into debt. Very sad time to see. A lot of families are really having a tough time out there. Let me know in the comments what you think and take a look at the rest of these clips.
I'm not even sure how to start this conversation. Driving home from work, like I do every day, an hour in each direction. And I want to preface this by saying I love what I do. I love it. I turn 61 next week, and my brain is on overdrive because I'm in this place where I am thinking about how much longer am I going to work, and when am I going to retire, and can I retire, and what am I going to do after I retire, and how much more do I really want to work, because I'm exhausted. I am like physically and mentally exhausted every day. Every single day. The drive every day, an hour. I mean, it is what it is. I'm used to it, but it's taken its toll. Plus, when I'm so busy at work, I'm sitting all day long, even though I have a stand-up desk, and even though I bought myself a treadmill for under my desk, which is great, except when I'm super busy, I can't walk and do what I want to do, so I'm sitting all the time, which has packed on the pounds, I have to say. So there's that now, too. I'm just tired. I'm just stinking tired. And there are days when I just wonder, how much more can I do? I mean, I'm not retirement age yet, so still got to crank it out. But man, there are days when I just go, can I do it now? Can I just call it a day? I don't know. So I'm reaching out to all my over 60 friends who are still working. I mean, what's going on in your minds? What are you doing? I mean, we talk about menopause all the time on here, but nobody's talking about retirement or what we're going to do or how we're going to do it or when we're going to do it, finances, age, insurance, Medicare, all that other stuff. I can't believe I'm here talking about this, but I'm getting there. So give me a shout out. What are you going to do? I need help trying to figure all this out. I just do.
I just came across a 73-year-old man on this app who said he screwed up his retirement. He said he didn't save enough. He didn't put enough aside. He said that now he's not able to retire with dignity. He's not able to go where he wants. He's not able to eat what he wants. He's not able to sit in a house that isn't cold in the winter and isn't hot in the summer. He said that even with cutting all the corners that he's been doing, he would run out of money within the next 4 to 5 years. So what is he doing now? His wife went back to work. He's back at work. He's selling stuff on this here app. He's doing whatever he can so that he doesn't end up destitute. I am not trying to kick that man when he's down. There's a lot of things that he can do now that he knows he didn't do back in the day, but there's some stuff that he can do now to turn the ship around. But what's most important is I want you to look at it as a cautionary tale. This is an opportunity for you to figure out how you can get your situation together so that you don't end up in the same boat that this 73-year-old man is in at this current time. So do yourself a favor. Start looking at your money. Start figuring out how you can make more money and put some of that money aside so that it'll make money for you. This is the time when you can do it. The younger you are, the better it is for you to start. But even if you're 30, 40, 50, even 60, you can make a change right now.
Talk about this Business Insider article about how millennials are panicking about retirement and how their fears reveal something really interesting about the economic assumptions we've been all making about retirement. The article includes this example of a couple who feels like they did everything right. They started saving since their 20s, they bought a home, they worked with a financial planner, but they still have this sense that their retirement planning is built on quicksand. Their retirement planner gave them a 76% chance of a successful retirement, which sounds reassuring-ish until you realize how many assumptions that calculation requires. It assumes the economy will grow like it did for boomers. It assumes a 7% annual return will continue. It assumes Social Security will exist. It assumes climate change won't disrupt everything. So I think this couple felt like, how can we make any sort of reasonable retirement assumption based on things that we don't even know will continue or might completely disrupt our plan? And I think that feeling is captured around a lot of younger people. In the past, I think you could make some reasonable projections that things would continue, and that's been completely disrupted. And that's created this really unique form of financial anxiety. Like, you can follow all the expert advice perfectly, and you're still planning for a future that might not exist. And this feeds into the idea of like, oh, the American dream is dead. And that kind of general like nihilism around, wealth building in America. And it's a very rational anxiety about assumptions that we don't know will be true in the future. I think this also highlights a little bit of a disconnect between traditional financial planning and advice and what actually might be true for a lot of people. I mean, things like the 4% withdrawal rule, that might not be applicable or something that works for a lot of people. Same with certain types of portfolio diversification. And yes, it can feel unsettling, uncertain, but it actually might be a little bit liberating if you think about it kind of in a different reframed way. If you can't rely on traditional models, you're forced to think more creatively about what security, work, and maybe even retirement means. And maybe the answer isn't, saving more money. Maybe it's thinking about developing skills that remain valuable regardless of economic conditions, building better community networks that provides non-financial security, or just redefining retirement as something more flexible than just stopping work at 65. You see that reframing happening with a lot of millennials that were interviewed for this article. They're building multiple scenarios for retirement. They're building location independence, building different income streams, maintaining flexibility rather than betting everything on one economic future. And while it's very normal to feel anxiety about your future, you can kind of use that feelings to kind of drive action and kind of pre-planning and thinking about different scenarios and trying to make a plan for what could happen instead of kind of being paralyzed by indecision. To me, the question isn't whether you should be worried about retirement, it's whether you can channel that worry into a more adaptive financial strategy.
I don't think I can ever retire. I really don't. I don't think it's possible to retire anymore because the amount of money you need to retire is going to keep going up as you get older because inflation and everything else is going to cost way more in the future. So right now, if you're like, $1 million and I can retire, probably not. I mean, you could probably be okay for a few years. But then once inflation and everything else kicks in, you're going to start paying way more for the things that you need to live on a daily basis. So people are just going to keep working. I mean, that's why you always see people continuing to work even past 65. It's because they can't retire. And most people can't retire. Most people. That's scary. Like, we shouldn't have to work our entire lives and never enjoy any semblance of freedom. Is retirement just a dream? I don't think most people can retire. I really don't.
Sometimes I feel that the final nail in my mother's coffin, or rather our relationship, was her retirement. My mother worked her entire life very, very hard, underpaid, overworked, and had this idea that retirement was not simply rest, but absolute peace. And after month one, it was like, well, I've slept enough. And she didn't exactly explore herself, explore her surroundings. Beyond, we think, oh, go travel the world. Pick a hobby too. And I did note how when she retired, she became way more insufferable, way more moody, irritable towards me. Because I think the loss of coworkers and companionship and other people to chat with made her very obsessed with me and the idea that I should serve her to compensate for the fact that she realized retirement is just aging out of a system. It's not exactly inner peace like a lot of people think it will be.
What do you think about retirement? Is retirement even something that's going to happen for a lot of people? I think a lot of people thought they were going to be able to retire until inflation started going crazy, and it's probably not even done. Inflation is just out of control. I don't even think they show us what real inflation is, because the cost of living is just outrageous. Like, I don't even understand how people afford apartments these days. My mortgage is about $640, and then for the year I pay about $2,000 in taxes. But if my property value gets reassessed, those taxes are probably going to more than double. And my mortgage is really low, but there's people out there that are paying for the house I have, which is 4 bedrooms. I think a house like this would probably go for about $2,500 around my area. I don't understand how people are affording to pay rents like this. Because if I had a family of 5 like I have right now and went to go rent a place, it would cost me so much money. I wouldn't be able to afford it. And we got people out there that are retired and are on fixed incomes, and the prices of things just keep going up. I saw a guy yesterday, this was actually yesterday, at Walmart, and I overheard him on the phone. It was an older man. Apparently he's retired, and he was saying how I can't even afford to get gas to go home. He was at, I think I said McDonald's. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling right now. We were at McDonald's. The guy was sitting there, and he's on the phone, and he's saying, I can't afford to get gas to go home. Like it's crazy. Like, it's outrageous, the cost of things. People are having to come out of retirement. Do you see an end in sight for you? Do you think you're going to get a retirement? I'm just wondering, because things are just so out of control. I think a lot of people were planning for a retirement, but is it something that can actually happen? Now, in my case, I could probably retire if I keep this house and eventually pay it off, and then I just have the property taxes. But who knows what's coming? Like, are you going to be able to retire? Let me know. I'm curious about this, because I think a lot of people that were planning on retiring probably decided not to now. Let me know your stories. Let me know what you think. Follow for more and check out my bio. I have the same exact digital marketing course in there that I started with, and it'll give you a good start too.
It is about time we start talking about the truths that don't nobody seem to want to talk about out loud. Because when you think about retirement, it was never designed for the economy we are living in right now. Literally think about it. Pensions, those are gone. The cost of living, that's doubled. People are living a good 20 to 30 years longer. And don't get me started on wages, y'all, because we know that wages have not been keeping up with any of that. So if you feel behind when it comes to retirement, I'm going to need for you to give yourself a little bit of grace, because the system that you were taught is outdated. And working for 40 years and retiring at 65, they may have worked for your parents, but that is not our reality anymore. And that is exactly why I teach people how to build based off of today's economy and not the one from 1975. So if you need help too, check out the link in my bio.
Listen, man, don't work your whole life trying to save your money, put it into a 401k, because when you turn the age to where you can actually finally retire and get your nest egg, don't do it. Enjoy your life right now while you can, because 90% of people who work 35, 45 years of their life, and as soon as they retire, they pass away within a year of retirement. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you work in 25, 35, 45 years of your life, your body has developed a routine where you getting up every day, you doing the same thing. Even though that we tired of working hard every day, we tired of reporting in, clocking in, getting pointed for being late or calling off. When we do work, our body is flowing. Our blood is flowing through our body. Our energy is different, even though we don't like to work for other people or like to work, period. But the moment that you retire, that's when your clock starts ticking. Your clock starts ticking the moment that you retire. If you guys don't believe what I just said, look at the statistics. Just go on Google, look at the statistics of people who pass away after retirement. The majority is going to baffle and blow you guys' mind. It is 100% true. Now, if you were to be someone who retired after 35, 45 years of working at a job, it don't have to be the same job. It can just be consistently working, and you do retire, go fishing, go golfing, go swimming, go to the gym. You have to do something every day. I'm not saying you have to do something every day for 8 hours when you retire. But I'm saying you need to do something for a couple of hours a day. That's the reason why y'all see a lot of older people walking around the mall all the time, just walking. That's the reason why you see that old guy or that old lady at Walmart bagging your groceries. You think that they're broken down on their luck. No, they got plenty of money. They're retired. They're just looking for something to something with their income. But most importantly, to supplement their blood flow, to keep them on their feet moving. That's what it's all about. So the next time y'all decide to laugh at somebody at a checkout line because they're an older person, trust me, they don't have to be there. They're there because they want to be there. But again, your clock starts ticking the moment that you retire. Thanks for watching.
Most people don't realize until it's too late they'll never have enough saved for retirement. That was me at 60. I worked for decades, first in the prison system, then in businesses I thought would set me free. But one by one, those businesses failed. And I found myself behind on my bills, behind on my retirement, behind on the life I wanted, and behind on my dreams and my promises to my family. It's scary. You look back and wonder, where did all that time go? Have you ever asked yourself that? But here's the truth. It's never too late. I found something that gave me a second chance, and if I can start over after everything I've been through, so can you. Comment ready and I'll send you the free course that shows you exactly how to build something real even after 40 years old.